By the way, he's better than all your quarterbacks. I don't really care. Burrow better than him. Lamar better than him. Josh Allen better than him. Mahomes better than him. He just beat him. He just beat him 40-22, and it wasn't really 22. It was 6. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a dissertation. We're gonna have ups and downs, and it's all gonna be about why Jalen Hurts is better than your quarterback. All right, guys. Hello. Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. I'm excited. I'm revved up, ready to go. I cannot wait today. I'm excited mainly because this is going to be the first time I do this on multiple platforms. So I'm going to be on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. So this is exciting. We're going to be doing this every time from now on. So when you guys see some clips, if you guys see anything coming from it, just know multi-streaming. So I'm excited. Today, this is called Why Jalen Hurts is Better Than Your Quarterback. Now, I am basing this a lot on some of the comments that I've been getting from TikTok, but I think just to break this down, the reason I'm doing this, the reason I've been so excited to do this today is because I think we're getting ridiculous. I've been on a hunt this last week to try to honestly stream for this reason. I don't know when it got to this. I have some answers, but when it fully delved into nothing matters, winning doesn't matter. Well, not nothing matters, stats matter. I feel like maybe Moneyball has something to do with this. I'm sorry, Moneyball. You're always getting attacked in these things. My bad, Moneyball. This isn't a personal affront. It's Moneyball. I like the Oakland A's. I mean, as much as you can like the Oakland A's when you're not really a fan from them. I respect what they did, all right, and I respect maxing things out, using your talent because of statistical elements and all of that fun jazz. And I think stats have a place, obviously, in sports. But this has gotten ridiculous. Because I see all these ratings that have Jared Goff ranked over in Jalen Hurts, that have Justin Herbert ranked over Jalen Hurts. I'll get into my deeper takes, but I just want to start with those two because when I was creating, if you guys haven't seen Twitch, I'm on Lumia Sports Podcast. Sorry, not Twitch, TikTok on Lumia Sports Podcast. I've been posting Instagram Reels as well, YouTube Shorts, wherever you get your content. But I've been listing a bunch of videos as to why Jalen Hurts is better than, well, it started with Justin Herbert. Something about Justin Herbert, it's driven me mad. It's driven me out of control, specifically recently, but a little bit always, not gonna lie. I think that he is the perfect example of just a quarterback who people like the first impression, which is fine. I have no problem liking the first impression, right? He had a great rookie year. He broke rookie. I think he's tied for the rookie passing touchdown record, and I think he has the yards record. I feel like I should do research. I don't know if it was 17 games at that point either, which would be another thing. I'm excited. We're gonna. This is another reason, right? We're gonna delve into all these answers as we go, so we can get assured answers. But I don't think it's very right because Herbert, he's 0-2 in the playoffs. And even this, I feel like this is ridiculous that I have to do this to Justin Herbert. But come on, man. And I know you play for the Chargers, but we weren't. I mean, I guess we were. They were, because I wasn't around calling Phillip Rivers like this level quarterback, but not 5. Was he? I remember Peyton. Like, I don't know if people were bringing Phillip Rivers above. He's only got 1 at this point, not 2, but Eli Manning. And even Eli Manning isn't really a Hurts comparison because Hurts makes the playoffs every year. I think that's part of it. I think he's a tough comp. I think that we haven't seen a lot of people, like a lot of players like this, because he's a running quarterback, but yet he's doing it in a way that is a little abnormal. A lot of rushing touchdowns. That's pretty much the only thing that's abnormal, though. I mean, not turning over the ball and just letting bygones be bygones. Sorry about this, Darnell. My guy Darnell Jones. Shout out Darnell Jones. Shout out Tony the Tiger. Don't know if they're gonna show up at any point today, but just shout out them. But he was texting me. Whichever you prefer. Telling him now we got options, man. We got options. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. First episode jitters. But obviously he's tough to judge, right? But like, just it's crazy to me that the leap has been made to, like, well, of course Hurts won the Super Bowl. Trent Dilfer could do it. I need to just get real close to the camera. I've heard so much more than I have with any recent Super Bowl winner, including, it's because he's Peyton Manning, but including the Peyton Manning season when he literally couldn't throw the ball, and we know he can't run. He's kind of an old man. But I've heard more comparisons on this Super Bowl, my quarterback Super Bowl, to Trent Dilfer than I've ever heard with any winning quarterback. It's disrespectful. All right, and it's like, it's why I now have to be the person. I got to be the guy. I have to be the person who looks at this and says, by the way, he's better than all your quarterbacks. I don't really care. Burrow better than him. Lamar better than him. Josh Allen better than him. Mahomes better than him. He just beat him. He just beat him 40-22, and it wasn't really 22. It was 6. But it's like, to do that, we have to start from a basis. And the fact that ESPN came out with this ranking, they have him under a rookie quarterback who he beat in the playoffs. They have him under, I should say, a quarterback who scored 3 in the Super Bowl. Another quarterback who he beat last year, Matthew Stafford. Although Stafford scared me. But then another quarterback in Mahomes, who he's won 2 straight against, who nobody else can beat. And it's also weird to me, by the way, that the Mahomes thing is now reversed, and so somehow Mahomes is now, like, not a top 2 quarterback? Are people saying Lamar and Josh are better than Mahomes? That seems a bit wild. This particular ESPN poll didn't do it, but that seems wild. And to stoke the fire, this is the part that really sucks. You know? It's the fact that of all people, man, of all people who should be able to understand what Hurts delivers, and I'm willing to admit, I'm an Eagles fan. I was about to say I'm a football fan first. I'm not necessarily sure that that's true. I would say of the Eagle fans that I know, I'm a football fan first. Only reason I say that is because when the Chiefs were playing the 49ers in the Super Bowl, I was still excited to watch. But for the Eagles, that was a rough Super Bowl. The 49ers and the Chiefs, the 2 teams they hate the most. 2 teams who most recently, well, the Chiefs beat us in the Super Bowl, and the 49ers are just disrespectful. Whenever they get the opportunity to be disrespectful, you see their fans. You see them fighting. Their teams like that too. Dirty team. Second dirtiest team in the league to the New Orleans Saints. That the Commanders are up there too. That the Eagles have to deal with. But I'm an Eagles fan. But I am a football fan first. I have no problem being completely honest about things, situations that I see, being overzealous even in calling out Philadelphia players, Philadelphia coaches. I've been the person who I'll even tell you a mistake I made. I said they should fire Nick Sirianni. That would have been dumb. But that's something that I said they should do. I said Nick Sirianni should go. Specifically when they were 2-2. Before the haircut, I was going to say debacle, but it wasn't a debacle, I guess. Before the haircut turnaround. Nothing wrong getting a baldy. Nothing wrong getting a little baldy. Before that, I was a person saying, he's got to go. Get him out. Fire him. I was even going to go down to the link. Just write it down. Well, like, you know, they had those people with the poster boards. I was going to write down to fire Sirianni. I had had enough. I had been done. I had had enough. We were 2-2. It made no sense. The team was too good. In my opinion, the quarterback's too good. What is going on? We had who we now think is the best running back in the league kind of universally, which is another interesting thing that I want to touch on later. But all those components and a defense that was kind of doing their job. It was like, yo, Sirianni, you can't figure this out, dude. But he did figure it out. And now I no longer think that about Sirianni. And I like Sirianni. I mean, he won a bowl. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Not like him now? You know? Me and Sirianni have had spats in which I yell at the TV. He can't hear me, right? The people around me can hear me. And then he starts doing the things that everyone's like, man, you were just yelling at him to do it. And I'm like, I know. They start doing it. Normally it's running the ball. Love running the ball. But I also have been on record years ago. God, we gotta find the old Spotify clips. They're on the web somewhere. But I've been calling out Joel Embiid for like 7 years now. Before it was cool. Before it was like a popular, like obvious cool thing to do. And now he had this article where now people are like feeling bad for him because he's injured. Bro, he always throws his team under the bus. Never performs in the playoffs. Did not take getting in shape seriously for years. And choked in the playoffs in their one chance with Jimmy Butler. I'm like that annoying Philadelphia, but I don't consider it annoying. I just consider it realistic and honest Philadelphia fan. So and people know that Philadelphia fans are very upfront. Like that bum Aguilar. We say things like that. Like, I caught the baby from that burning building. Unlike that bum Aguilar. For no reason. Why did Aguilar catch a strike? Aguilar ended up winning a Super Bowl. Probably because of that clip. He got bullied. Booing Donovan McNabb. Like, all that stuff. He threw some snowballs at Santa Claus. Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, can you believe it? It's 1968. Their owner doesn't care and hired a rip-off Santa, and they threw snowballs. Yeah, get us a real Santa. We're 1-13. What are you doing? It's ridiculous. I have no problem with any of that. But this is what makes it so weird is that us Eagle fans, we're trying to tell you guys, and you're not understanding. We've been defending Hurts for years. For years. And you're not getting it. And I think it's time. I've never told this story, I don't think, on air. Dom brings... I have some friends that bring it up from time to time. Dami C, who's in our Twitch. We had some conversations, and he's brought this up before. There was one time period that I ever did not believe in Hurts. I would say maybe two. Rookie year, Carson Wentz is playing, and I'm still thinking, well, he kind of, sort of has a Super Bowl, right? Like, I mean, he was there when he looked like he was about to be the MVP and won the Super Bowl, even though he technically didn't. I don't know if he could have. We'll never know. But then he gets hurt after he drags us to the playoffs with no real team. And then Jadeveon Clowney, dirty player, slammed his head into the ground, gave him a concussion. He was never the same. And as he's racking up the most sacks in the league, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I just think it's the coach. I think blah, blah, blah. And Dom was there, man. He was telling me, like, hey, you know, it's anytime. Because they would put Hurts in the Wildcat offense. And he'd be like, anytime Hurts gets in, something happens. And I'm like, yeah, but that's like a gimmicky thing. Like, and then one time, I think they just handed it off to Miles Sanders, and they got like 50, 60. They might have scored a touchdown on this crap. Just with him being in the game is like a read threat option. And Miles Sanders also is a strong thesis to this argument, but we're going to get there. It's going to be great. It's going to be a dissertation. We're going to have ups and downs, and it's all going to be about why Jalen Hurts is better than your quarterback. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. As this season is going on, as this is happening, as I'm watching Wentz get pummeled, as they're like 4-8, well, 4-6, 4-7, I'm like, you know what? Dom's winning me over. I'm like, you know what? I can't watch this anymore. This dude, Carson Wentz, was just sitting there, not throwing the ball, getting smoked, just getting lit up. This offensive line, this best in the league offensive line that we've had since the dawn of time. Carson Wentz led the league. Kelsey was there. Lane was there. This is what I gotta start fact checking. I don't remember if Mailata was there, but I think he was. I think he was. He's 28. Probably was there. He was at least. Well, we'll see, because he did play rugby for a little bit. Nope, he was there. Mailata there. If I remember. 1, 2, 3. Yep, started 10 games. First season, but he started 10 games. He was there. And Carson Wentz, this is well, Kelsey, we'll get to that later. But this O-line that's so souped up, that's so great, that's so decorated, and I love our offensive line, man. I think it is one of the. I don't know. I think Lane is one of the best right tackles period to ever play. That's undeniable. He just shuts people down. I love Mailata, heart of the team, heart and soul, more the soul of the team. You know, like Hurts is the brain. I'd say like AJ and them like the heart. Well, what CJ, but you know, but more like the soul because he sings. Yeah, beautiful voice. I just think all of those like components, they were there, and Wentz wasn't doing anything. Then Hurts comes in the lineup. He goes 1-3 to end the season. Not great, but they start scoring points. And this is what happened. See, this is great. I think you guys need an Eagles fan to tell you this. You don't know all the little stories that go into this Hurts thing. Like it's a long. I'm telling you, man. So many twists and turns. Hold up. But at the end of the season, so here they are, Eagles, 6 and whatever they are, I forget, 10, 11, we're 17 games at this point. I don't know. The whole game thing is weird. Eagles can't make the playoffs. Only thing they can do is lose to get a break. They didn't have 6 wins. I'm sorry, they had like 4, maybe 5. But everyone's like, if they beat the Commanders, the Giants will get into the playoffs. Doug Peterson, knowing this, you would think with Howie Roseman, probably with Howie Roseman's blessing at least, so we're going to sit Hurts. We're going to play, was it Sudfeld at the time? Nate Sudfeld, I believe. Pretty sure it was Nate Sudfeld. And we played him. And we played him to lose that game, to let the Commanders get into the playoffs, because screw the Giants. We don't like you. Yeah, just get out. We don't want you in the playoffs. We want you in the playoffs. We don't like you. We don't like them, but we really don't like you. This is a little more when the Giants were a little more kind of, sort of. They weren't relevant, but it's like, you know, I mean, if we could choose, you don't want the Giants in there. Definitely don't want the Cowboys in there. Don't get me started. But Giants, specifically. You don't want y'all in there. Let the Commanders go. Go ahead, Kirk. Is that Kirk Cousins? Probably after Kirk Cousins. I mean, I don't remember. They lost in the first round. Beautiful, harmless. Except it wasn't harmless because Jason Kelce went to the stands and the New York media kept asking us questions. Hey, why didn't you guys beat the Commanders? Because, you know, they were thinking they were going to get to talk about a playoff game. They thought Hurts was going to come in, beat the Commanders, and they would get the playoffs. But now they had no playoff game. So now they're just pestering the Eagles. Hey, why did you guys lose the game? When obviously an Eagles reporter, I would hope, wouldn't ask that question because, the reason we lost is to get Micah Parsons / Devontae Smith that range as opposed to guys who aren't that good. So why would we care about being there? We lived the process. We lose a game. What? That we can't make the playoffs? Who cares? Let's get the draft pick. We already know this. Easy. Philly math, easy. Not complicated. Simple stuff. But New York media, well, it's all about us, the Big Apple, man. I don't know, New Yorkers, you know, New Yorkers, man, whatever. And they came up and they kept asking Jason Kelce questions, and Jason Kelce was like, look, man, like, I wanted to win. You don't think I wanted to beat them? I don't like none of y'all. But I just don't think that's right to, like, not try to win every game. So there's Jason Kelce, pre-podcast Jason Kelce, by the way. And guess what happens? I saw the interview, and I was like, that's it. Kelce, leader of the team. Now it's a story, because now Jason Kelce says something about it. So now it's getting propped up. Boom, 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 boom. Doug Peterson. Actually, Doug, we're going to trade Wentz. They trade Wentz for a first. A fleece. An absolute fleecing. Howie Roseman, you are the GOAT. You are the GOAT. Get Wentz up out of there, right? Free it up for Hurts. And then he said, you know what, on second thought, Doug, you're out too. So Doug is fired. I was hurt. I was like, we just fired our Super Bowl. The only coach who's ever won a Super Bowl in the history of the franchise. What's going on? Like, why would we do such a thing? It was appalling. So there we are. And then we get this guy, Nick Sirianni. I heard people say his press conference wasn't good. I never watched it. I never really cared to watch the first interview with Nick Sirianni. He was from the Colts. I thought that was a little weird because us and the Colts, they had taken, oh my gosh, what was his name? The old offensive coordinator, the one who won the Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl with this. Oh my gosh, what was his name? Frank Wright. So they took Frank Wright, made him the head coach, and then we got Sirianni from their staff and Steichen from that staff as well. First year starts off. This is Hurts' first year. We come out. It's looking rough. I want to say we were 1-4, 1-3, 1-4. Let me look up the schedule so I can give you guys an accurate telling of this. But if I remember correctly, it started off pretty bad. And it was, oh man. So let's go down the list. I'll start remembering as we go because I watch all the games. They came out week 1. I do remember this. They beat the stuffing out of the Falcons. Hurts is looking good. Devontae Smith is catching touchdowns. Rookie Devontae Smith is on the team. Devontae Smith catching touchdowns. You know what I mean? Everything's great. And then week 2, we play the 49ers. That game changed our season. And I remember why. It was a rough, rugged game. The 49ers beat us 17-11. I believe, did they the year before? They had recently went to the bowl. That might have been when they went and lost to the Chiefs. But yeah, so that game was ugly. Brandon Graham was hurt. Then we played the Cowboys Monday night, beat the stuffing out of us, 41-21. Hurts had 2 picks. We only ran the ball 3 times with Sanders or Gainwell. And I remember at this point, Sirianni is calling plays. And I'm getting flashbacks now. Let's just real quick, just keep going down the schedule. I'm getting flashbacks at this point because now it's like, oh no, we're back to this. We're not running the. And Jalen Hurts, by the way, ran it 9 times, and the running backs ran it 3 times. In that game I mentioned to the Cowboys, which I remember it being bad. He did throw interceptions early in that game. It wasn't like he was good by any stretch. I don't want to make it seem like he was good. He was very much not good in that game. And I remember even thinking like, whoa, this is a little alarming. Then next week we played, by the way, playing the 49ers, Cowboys, and Chiefs in a 3-game stretch at that point when the Cowboys were good and the 49ers still had everybody. It was crazy. We played the Chiefs 42-30. Not bad. Playing Mahomes, not bad. But I do remember just thinking like, gosh, yeah, Mahomes threw for 5 touchdowns. So I was like, yeah, this is crazy. Look at Miles. Dang! Lost to Mahomes. Look at this, 42-30. Hurts, 387 yards, 2 touchdowns. No picks. 47 rushing yards. Craziness. Y'all say he can't play. He just like, wait. Devontae Smith out there. And Ertz. Gainwell was his 3rd leading receiver. Goddard. Miles Sanders, 7 rushes for 13 yards. This dude, bro. The Miles Sanders gas. Oh, my gosh. But as we proceed. Anyway. Moving on, they beat the Panthers, lose to the Bucks. We can never beat the Bucks. Lose to the Raiders. I gotta look at this. The Raiders loss is bad. At this point now, they're 2-5, by the way, after this loss to the Raiders. Hurts, 18 for 34, 236, 2 touchdowns. He ran for 61 yards. No one's running the board. We're just not handing it off to Miles Sanders or Boston Scott or anybody. Yeah, bad loss. What did the Raiders? How did the Raiders? Derek Carr lit us up for 330, 323, missing 3 passes. Oh, so this defense was trash. Bro, Derek Carr missed 3 passes, bro. Jeez. Next week, turnaround, stomping out the Lions, the pre-Dan Campbell Lions. 44-6, they were 0-8, but nice game for Hurts, and they figured out the system. They ran the ball with everyone. Hurts led the way in rushing, by the way, with 71 rushing yards. But everyone else started running. 60 yards for Scott. Oh, we got Jordan Howard. That's right. A downhill running back and then Miles Sanders was hurt. They only turned around when Miles Sanders got hurt. The Miles Sanders gas. I'm sorry, Miles. I don't mean to do this to you, but you're just a backup running back that everyone pretends like you were like nice, like you're cool. You're cool, Miles. Anyway, they actually lost Justin Herbert here, 27-24. Let's see who played better in this game. The Herbert, damn, 350, 2 touchdowns. That's crazy. Can't lie. Hurts, 162 passing. He missed 6 passes, 1 touchdown, no picks. Herbert was much better. Howard ran for 71. Hurts ran for 62. Let's see. Herbert, 14 yards. Eckler, 59. Yeah, Herbert was better that game. I'll give it to him. I'll give it to Herbert. Still give me Hurts. I give it to Herb. Definitely better that game. Still only won by 3. Surprisingly, kind of close game, but good win for Herb. He doesn't get a lot of big wins, so I guess beating Jalen, big win. Keeps making me go back and reopen things. Okay, so Eagles win 2 straight games. They lose a terrible 13-7 game. I remember this one, dude. Hurts was bad. This is a bad Hurts game, but it wasn't just a bad Hurts game. Because what else it was the Jalen Reagor game where he drops touchdown. They easily would have won us a game and possibly, I don't know. It was ridiculous. But Hurts was bad. 3 interceptions. He was awful. I think this was the worst game easily Jalen Hurts ever played. November 28, 2021, against Giants, we lose 13-7. He had 77 rushing yards too, as I'm saying. It was his worst game. But can't throw three interceptions. And Jalen Reagor just drops the game-winning catch, man. So bad. Awful, dude. Hate Jalen Reagor. Not hate, but dude, come on, Jalen Reagor. Anyway, so the Eagles at this point are 5-7. We're still in year 2 of this, right? Come out, beat the Jets, beat the Commanders. That Commanders game was huge because it gave us kind of lead. Then we lost to the Commanders. And at that point, after we beat the Giants 34-10. We got play the Giants again, smoke them. At that point, I was hurt. That was the game where I didn't trust Hurts, because I remember I didn't watch the first Commanders game because I was working and it was a Thursday. So I didn't actually see what happened in that first game, how we actually beat them. I saw the loss to them, and I'm like, all right, so I saw you lose to the Giants, saw you lose to the Cowboys, now I've seen you lose to the Commanders. And that just can't happen. And in the game they won, I see, all right, Miles Sanders, 131 rushing yards. That's huge. Hurts, Howard also at 69. Hurts, 296 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Goddard went off for 135. Jeez, Goddard. 38 rushing yards for Hurts and 2 touchdowns. But those touchdowns don't matter. Touchdowns do not matter when it's Jalen Hurts, because he created the greatest play ever, the tush push, and it's not fair. He's just too strong. That's what you sound like, talking to me about how a play doesn't work. Well, anyone could run it. No, they can't. That's why they want to ban it. If they could run it, they'd run it. They can't. I watched Josh Allen try to do it. He can't do it. He can't do it. Sorry. And y'all told me it was Jason Kelce, and he did it without him. So what are we talking about? Can do it with anybody, because he's that strong. Stop disrespecting him. Anyway, make the playoffs. They do lose in the first round to the Bucs, who we just never beat. What you will see as we go through this is just a real display of how we can never beat the Bucs. And if we played them in the playoffs, I would be very concerned, as I was the last 2 times when they beat us. Whether it was Brady or it was Baker. Todd Bowles, he might have the sauce. But in that playoff game, 31-15, I don't remember being that close. Yep, and as I remember, no points through 3 quarters. They were just on Hurts. They just kept blitzing and blitzing and blitzing. 2 interceptions in that game, 258. What's it called? He ran for 39. Jeez. Sanders, 7 rushes, 16 yards, nothing. Scott, 1 for 34. They tried to throw it 43 times. An interesting strategy. Brady, on the other hand, 37 passes, 271, 2 touchdowns. They actually ran it more. Bernard, 44 yards. Vaughn, 53. Who was he? Who are these running backs? This was also the Buccaneers team, as we remember. Oh my gosh, this was that Buccaneers team. They went on to go in the Super Bowl and torture Patrick Mahomes. I forgot they did that. That's this team. They lost it. So wait, so year 1. Let's cap it up. Come in there, tough start, nice middle, pick it up, get in the playoffs. They make the wild card. They do make the wild card. I will say they do make the wild card because there are 7 teams and not 6. So the old NFL doesn't happen. This NFL does happen. Lose in the first round to a team that would go on to win the Super Bowl, and do the same thing to a team that had Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes. But he did lose that playoff game, and he did not fare very well. Is that his worst playoff? I don't know if it's worse than when he played them in a couple years. But for the stats, nerds, here you go, full stats for the year. 3,100, 44 passing yards, 16 passing TDs, 9 interceptions. So still under 10 interceptions, but the passing numbers not great. Sacked 26 times. He went. Let's see. And then rushing, because with him rushing matters. 784 rushing yards with 10 touchdowns. That's crazy, dude. So let me look at his fumbles, because my friend makes a great point. Dom actually made this point. He said you have to include fumbles when you do these. I wonder if you can find that on Pro Football. Here we go. We're going to find out if we can find fumbles. It's got to be here somewhere. But as I'm looking that up, if you include rushing touchdowns, you do in fact have to include what's it called? Fumbles. Oh, here it is. Is that his fumble amount? I think that is his fumble. So Jalen Hurts has fumbled the ball That can't be right. Jalen Hurts fumbled the ball 9 times. But I can't see how many of them are turnovers. But 9 times every year? Something doesn't seem right. Let me see if that's just a glitch stat. I'm going to look up a different quarterback. That seems weird that he's fumbled it literally 9 times every year. So let's see Football Focus. Nope. Yeah. Looking at Lamar numbers too. He fumbles at 11-10. So 9 isn't bad. But for full disclosure, so full touchdowns, I can't tell if they're turnovers though. Like it's a fumble, but is it a turnover? Let's say turnover worthy, I guess. 26 and 18. Playoff appearance with a team that was 4 and 11 the previous year without him. That was that did end up having a rookie head coach who, by the way, mid-season that turnaround came because he gave Shane Steichen the reins to the offense because Nick Sirianni isn't really a play caller. So year one, I would consider that kind of tough. Not the best. But he did get a team in the playoffs. He did do that. Year 2. Well, year 3 because technically that's year 2 because his rookie year he didn't play that much. So that was year 2. Year 3. AJ Brown comes along. A player who has been best friends with Jalen Hurts for years. Hurts definitely has something to do with, I think, the fact that AJ Brown wants to go there because he did want to trade from Tennessee because he was tired of Ryan Tannehill. I don't know about that last part. I'm aggregating a little bit. I'm just making some stuff up. But I assume, wouldn't you be mad playing with Ryan Tannehill? You get to play with Derrick Henry, which is cool, but he also was off injured. I'm actually going to look up AJ Brown's numbers before he came to the Eagles. I believe he had a 1,500-yard season before he joined the team. Oh, guys. I hate to tell you this. I'm going to get so much more obnoxious about the Jalen Hurts thing because I just saw AJ Brown's numbers. And you guys are telling me he's a top 5 receiver. And I agree with you. I agree with you. You the viewer. You the person who's yelling at me that AJ Brown's a top 5 receiver. I love AJ Brown. I agree with you. He is my... It's tough. I was going to say second favorite Eagles receiver ever. Deshaun Jackson and Terrell Owens are great. But AJ might be better than those dudes. He's definitely better than Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun just with the 80-yard touchdowns. That was just fun. But Owens and him are right there. And he's definitely better as an Eagle because Owens left after 2 years. So give me AJ Brown. I love AJ Brown. I was mad last year when he was low in the wide receiver rankings. I'm like, how's this guy over him? How's this guy over him? What are we talking about? AJ Brown's a dog. He was, for a little bit, one of these years, which we'll get to, in the MVP discussion for some reason. But you got to peep game. AJ Brown, before he got to the Eagles, first year, 1,051 yards, 8 touchdowns. Second year, 1,075 yards, 11 touchdowns. Year before he got there, he did miss 4 games, 869 yards, 5 touchdowns. AJ Brown comes to the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown. Let me see. I'm actually going to see. He did. I see a star by his name, 2020. So that means he made the Pro Bowl in 2020. But he had never made an All-Pro? Or is that Associated Press? Let me see what that AP means. All-Pro. So he wasn't an All-Pro. First year as an Eagle. Oh boy, this AJ. I'm gonna do the season by seasons. I don't even. But whatever. AJ Brown became an All-Pro. 1 year with Hurts, 1,496 yards, 4 short of 1,500 yards. This is why I thought he had 1,400 yards before he got here. Because the second he gets here, all of a sudden now with Hurts, everyone's saying he can't throw the ball. This dude's getting 1,496 yards and 11 touchdowns. What? Huh? What are we talking about here? Guys, what are we talking about? A.J. Brown always had that talent. I've seen A.J. Brown in the playoffs for the Titans like snap. I believe he had a couple of, at least one big touchdown against the Ravens in that game when the Titans beat them. And they had to just, Henry is just running. Then now you got to load the box on Henry, and now you're on a slant for A.J. and he's out. By the way, A.J. great at doing that. Great doing a lot of things. Great player. Cooks Jair Alexander. But one thing about it, right? Like, we can't just act like he was that before he got here. Just like with another guy. Now, with Devontae Smith, he's been a rookie. He's never played away from Hurts. So that makes sense. The offensive line, we've already just proven that. Offensive line is great. If you got the wrong dude back there, he can still lead the league in sacks. Oh, well, it's Carson Wentz. Y'all just told me like 30 dudes. Y'all told me regular guys walking the street can win a Super Bowl with this team. Right? Right? That's what you guys would have me believe. You would have me believe that the running doesn't matter. Nothing about his intellect matters. Like, and it's just the team. A.J. Brown, a part of that, right, had easily the best year of his career once he got here. The second he got to the Eagles. And I don't think that's the offensive line, respectfully. I don't think that's just Shane Steichen, as we'll see. I don't think that's... I think that's the quarterback. And maybe A.J. Brown, obviously, playing with his best friend, being a little more motivated, knowing the different styles, right? Knowing that it's not going to be all A.J. Brown... Derrick Henry runs all the time, and for a receiver, I get that could be annoying, kind of boring, all those things. All of that is true. On the flip side, A.J. Brown had his career year the first time he stepped onto the field with Jalen Hurts. So who gets credit? Like, does Hurts not get credit for that? No, they gave it to Shane Steichen. Who, by the way, great offensive coordinator. Great season. Eagles, flying high. Defense, by the way, snapping. Leads the league in sacks this year. We're just like running through people to the point where it's like, whoa. To the point where right before the end of the season, before Jalen Hurts suffered an unfortunate injury, he was considered an MVP candidate. The MVP. I'm not going to say candidate. The MVP. We go out. Right, regular season, we already talked about A.J. Brown. 14-1 with Hurts to start, so 14-2 because 14-3 because they rested in the last two games. That's right, they rested in the last two games once they secured the number one seed, and once they secured home field through the link. Hurts that season in 15 games, 3,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. I know, low interception passing. Rushing, 760 rushing yards, 13 rushing touchdowns. Let me see how many fumbles. 9. He has 9 fumbles every year, so that's going to be easy. So we're going to say turnover-worthy plays, even though they're all not turnovers. So 15 turnovers, right? And 32 touchdowns. No, not 32. What am I talking about? 35. Bad math. 35 touchdowns, 15 turnovers. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, anyway, the playoffs start, and the Eagles just smoke the Giants. That was easy. Just absolutely demolished them. Then they play the 49ers, in which, by the way, I will say this. That game, that was the defense. The defense was incredible in that game. Oh, by the way, one other thing I wanted to see was the running back, because now this is a year where they didn't quite do what they did this year, obviously. But I would say the defenses were No, the defenses weren't comparable. Bond is much better. Secondary much better. But they did lead the league in sacks. I think they didn't just lead the league. I think they broke a record, if I believe, in sacking quarterback. And this year, here you go. Perfect example. Miles Sanders, 1,269 rushing yards, 11 touchdowns. The year before, he had 754. Oh, my gosh. 754 and no touchdowns. Gee, man. No touchdowns is crazy. How many yards per rush is he getting with all this? I don't know. I'm looking for the per rush numbers. Getting about 5 per carry. 4 or 5. Yeah, 5 per carry is a lot. He should be getting more handoffs. Well, they gave it to him this year. Till in the bowl, and he couldn't do anything. By the way, Miles Sanders, let me see, actually. Let me double check here. Nah, he was always good behind decent. This year he just popped off, but he always was around that 700, 800 number. Then as soon as he leaves, he went to Carolina for 2 years and under 500 yards. So I will say that is all the O-line. So maybe Barkley, maybe Barkley is more of them, right? Well, now this year, I do think with AJ, and now you have an actual threat over the top, now Miles Sanders has a lot more opportunities to be able to run the ball for those yards. But fair is fair. So I'll say running back position when we get to the Saquon argument. I'll give you that. You know? Anyway, in the playoffs, they smoked the Giants. They beat 49ers because, they just break Brock Purdy's arm. The defense just came in running like wild men. The link was loud, and the 49ers had no shot. They were never winning that game. I'm sorry. They had no answer. I don't care if he was healthy. He looked shook. He looked scared. They looked scared. They were like, what in the world is this? And now, one thing I do want to say, though, about that game, it did take a little bit, I remember, for Hurts to get it off the ground. Hold up. NFC Championship, yeah. Because I specifically remember, like, there were a couple possessions where it's like, we got to get this lead. Like, we're not really moving the ball. That defense obviously was great, though. Greenlaw, Fred, Bosa. Who else? Was Hufanga there yet? I don't know. I don't think he was quite there yet. They were loaded, though. I think they had, that was when they had the really great D lines. But how it started was not how it ended, and it ended up being an unreal Hurts game because Jalen Hurts on the day passing, he didn't do much. 121 yards, easy. Rushing 39. 1 touchdown for him. Nothing crazy. Miles Sanders had 2. Real weird game. But yeah, that injury obviously. Why did I think he had more rushing touchdowns? See, those are my Hurts colored glasses. There you go. That's the championship game. Just kind of chilled. Didn't really do anything. I do remember him running the ball more though. Whatever. Facts are facts. 31-7 and they go to the ball. I see Josh Johnson right here throwing a lot of passes. So yeah, it's the right game. Weird. Now we're in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl comes. I'm excited. I'm thinking we're going to win. Philly's thinking we're going to win. We're all thinking we're going to win. We're playing the Chiefs. We're okay with Andy Reid, but we don't want him to beat us. We're cool with him. He used to coach here and all that. We don't want him to, you know what I'm saying? Come here and just beat us. And game starts. Hurts is great. My gosh, man. He's throwing bombs, throwing touchdowns. The defense stinks, though, unfortunately. No one can get... Now, one thing to note, no one can get sacks because of the turf. So there were 2 good defenses that their D-lines were kind of getting stifled. So there's a lot of time to throw the ball or run the ball. Kind of do whatever you want as a quarterback. But Hurts was phenomenal. Mahomes had the one leg. So we're thinking, man, we're going to get pressure on him. We're going to get to, hit this guy and the turf out of the plans. And then early in, I think it was second quarter, Eagles up 14-7, 3rd and 9. Terrible play call. They run a QB draw up the middle. And the Chiefs, because empty backfield, And the Chiefs, knowing this is like one of our pet plays. It was. We don't run it as much anymore, thank God. Like, that play was driving me insane. But we would just run an empty backfield. Hey, here you go, Hurts. You just make something happen, because I know we have Miles Sanders, but he's not very good. You're our best running back and our quarterback, so you just got to make something happen there on 3rd and 8. We also don't really want to throw the ball for some reason, even though you've been dotting kind of, you know what I mean, early in this game specifically. So we're going to run you up the middle. All right? Yeah, sure. Okay. Nick Bolton, blitz, fumble, boom, Chiefs touchdown, horrible. I'm like, oh, what the flippity goop just happened to us, man. Like, I can't believe it. I'm stunned. I'm hurt. They come back. Now, something else to note. They still had the lead for most of this game, but then the Chiefs, the punt return happened. The Chiefs end up actually being up by 8 points, and then Hurts goes down. Down 8. Super Bowl on the line. Season on the line. Scores a touchdown. And then, you need 2. He goes, runs it wide, gets the 2-point conversion. Down 8 in the Super Bowl. Jalen, this is why, to me as well, this game has so much of a frustration point of when we go and we say things like, like, oh my gosh, like, I don't really get it, like, like, Hurts only did this one Super Bowl, and he only made this one because of Saquon. I'm like, no. He played another one, and he played them. He played Mahomes better than anyone other than, and let me not say Mahomes. He played Steven Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs, Chris Jones, all the dudes. He played that defense that no one really ever scores on. Joe Burrow beat them the one year. They only scored, I believe, 23 points. Let me look that up so I don't just keep misquoting facts. But 2022, I think that was the one where the Bengals won. They scored 27 points. Was that in overtime? It was in overtime. 27 points in overtime, right? Nobody lights up Spags the way that Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and these guys were. Miles Sanders, you are not included on this, and you will see why I'm very upset. Miles Sanders, why I'm sorry, kept trashing him. There's a reason. I know I'm a little, but there's a reason. But he did that, right? He went out, lit him up, came down the field, tied the game down 8. Chiefs driving. They throw the ball, and they're at the 10. The Eagles have a timeout. Worst case scenario, Hurts is going to get another chance, even if they score a touchdown. I'm liking it. I'm like, if we get the ball back, we got to go for 2. That's where my brain was. And then they throw the ball into the end zone, and Bradbury, that bum Bradbury grabs receiver, pass interference, the worst possible thing you could do. Why? Because now the time was running so low that the Chiefs end up just kneeling the ball, kicking a field goal. The Eagles and Hurts never see the ball. I was distraught. Whole house of Eagles fans sad. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. And one of the reasons I was so hurt and so sad was because I knew I was hurt for the Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan. I was really hurt for Jalen Hurts. I really was. Because he played, and at this point, this isn't like the year before when me and Dom had our little thing where he was like, I don't know, you should trust him, or you got to calm down with like saying anything bad about Hurts. None of the Hurts slander came out of my mouth. After really got into the playoffs, I was like, he really made the playoffs. Like once I looked at him, like, oh, he actually did get this team into the playoffs. With mainly a rookie head coach. Not like it was a bad team, a bad roster. It's Howie Roseman. We have great rosters. I'm sorry. It's just he's gonna have a good roster for a while. He's on the Eagles. What do you want me to do? Well, Cam Newton's better because he's on the Panthers. All right, cool. Cam Newton could have done what Hurts did. Maybe. I don't know, but he didn't. Though he could have, maybe in an alternate universe, but in this universe, he didn't play that well in the Super Bowl. Let's just start with that. He didn't have 35 in the Super Bowl against a great defense, against a great defensive coordinator. I think they were the number one defense in the league that year, or up there. That was right after they traded Hill for the rookie cornerback. I forget his name. The one that they have. He's good. He's a really good corner. Snead. I think. No, Snead they just traded. It wasn't Snead either. It was, starts with an M? You guys know that guy. McDuffie. Gotcha. And I was like, he's not going to get his credit. And of course, he proceeded to not get any credit. But because he lost. They're like, you lost. You don't get credit for losing. Even if you do score 35. And we'll read the numbers and have one of the greatest games of your life. You lost. That's what you guys told me. Hurts lost that Super Bowl. So you know what? He not in this conversation. Okay. I guess. I just looked up Chiefs, Eagles, Super Bowl, and it showed me the more beautiful one. I'll say it like that. What a beautiful world we live in, man. What a beautiful world. Anyway, let's go to this other one. And in this game, Mahomes, 182, 3 touchdowns. Pacheco, 76 rushing yards. Mahomes ran for 44. Pacheco, 76 rushing yards and a touchdown. Yeah. And then obviously Bolton with that forced fumble, recovery for a touchdown. Hurts. 304 yards, 1 touchdown, 15 rushes, 70 yards. Now he did have that 1 fumble, so the 1 turnover, but 3 rushing touchdowns. 3. Just like Jared Goff has that many points in Super Bowls, bro. What are we talking about? He doesn't have any touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Anyway, so 4 touchdowns, 1 turnover. That's amazing, especially in the Super Bowl. That's great. He would have been Super Bowl MVP this time. But the problem was he didn't have a Pacheco getting 76 yards. He had Miles Sanders with these 7 rushes and 16 yards, and Gainwell with the 7 carries and 21 yards, and Boston Scott with 8 yards. Nobody on the Eagles other than Hurts ran for over 3 yards a carry. They couldn't do anything, and that's fine. You just gotta win the game, right? That's what y'all told me. That's what you guys told me. You said we don't care that you can't run the ball. You fumbled. I heard about this turnover more than any turnover, I promise you, more than any Lamar terrible turnover. Lamar just had 2 awful jaws in the playoffs. I heard about the Hurts fumble as a reason why he lost them that Super Bowl so many times. Not the rushing yards, not the defense getting no stops. The defense let up 38 to a dude with 1 leg. I think it was the turf. I think part of it too was Jonathan Gannon, Cardinals head coach. Their defense isn't great. Anyway, the Eagles lose. So then what happens? Well, everyone leaves. Jonathan Gannon gets hired to the Cardinals, like we just mentioned. Stan Steichen, their offensive coordinator, goes to the Colts. So now we bring in Brian Johnson. I think a offensive coordinator from Florida. Why are we hiring an offensive coordinator from Florida? I don't know. Why would you do that? I don't know why you would do that. Like, Florida has some great college offense. It's amazing. Not the move I would make, but they made it. And so here we are. But start off the year, and this was the most frustrating season because this requires a full. This requires a full deep dive, right? And hold up. Last year, I don't even want to go over this year. Frankly, we know what happened this year. We won the Super Bowl. He had 18 passing touchdowns. They didn't lose any games with A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. I don't feel like it's necessary. I have my opinion. I think he's the best quarterback in the league, and you have yours, the wrong one. No, you have your opinion, and it's that it's a team game now. Not when he lost the Super Bowl, but now it's a team game. Like he has Saquon Barkley. Who couldn't win with Saquon Barkley? I don't know, the Giants forever? Anyway, 2023 starts. No Steichen. They come out week 1. I remember they look iffy. Very iffy against the Patriots to where I'm like, whoa. But they somehow win the game. And then they win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight games. They lose to the Jets. Never a good sign. Then they beat the Dolphins, Commanders, Cowboys. They start off 10-1, right? They're beating everyone by 7. And how are they beating everyone? Well, it's the defense forcing a turnover, and it's just this guy Jalen Hurts. Now he had turnovers too, but he's doing everything. We also have Swift. I forgot. We have DeAndre Swift too, which is cool. So, but we're like 8-1. We beat the Cowboys, so now we have the stretch, right? We beat them 28-23. That was actually a part of the big stretch. Yep, Hurts 207, 2 touchdowns. I remember this game being over and then Dak throwing for a lot of yards. No, Dak was in there. Dak was in there fighting. Hurts just did in the third quarter. Dak almost came back and won. 374, 3 touchdowns. Good game out of him. Good job, Dak. 51 rushing yards from Pollard. Swift at 43. Hey, look, we weren't really running for anything. We were just, that man Hurts, man. He just was going out there winning the game. I don't know. What do you want me to do? He just beat him. He just beat that dude. He's better than that, man. Smoke. Then we're playing against Mahomes. Now, mind you, the defense at this point is on the way to being 29th in the league in scoring. And he completes beating Dak Prescott, right? I gotta read this out loud, man. Beating Dak Prescott, beating Patrick Mahomes 21-17, and then beating Josh Allen 37-34 in overtime. And this game, I remember because when he beat Josh Allen threw a pick and had 2 rushing touchdowns. But Hurts had 200 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 65 rushing yards for 2 touchdowns. He had 5 touchdowns. 5 total. And they were down 17-7 at halftime. So, he carried. In the fourth quarter, 17 points. Jalen Hurts coming from behind to beat Josh Allen with no defense. What are we talking about, man? Come on. Let's be real. Then we played the 49ers, and they figured out that all we were doing were running Jalen Hurts up the middle and running bubble screens. They said, here's the formula. Here's how you stop it. They acknowledged it. They said it out loud. They're like, they wanted to end our season, and effectively they kind of did. I can't lie. They got people suspended. Big Dom got sent out. Next week, we lose to the Cowboys. The next week, Bradbury loses a game that we're up 17-13 against the Seahawks. We lose to the Giants. Oh, the Cardinals loss was so bad, dude. The Cardinals loss was something to behold because bro, 3 touchdowns. Bro was trying. 3 touchdown passes. 1 pick, bro was trying. Ridiculous. Absurd. I think he had 23 touchdowns, 15 picks this year, but he also had 15 rushing touchdowns for 630. So I didn't turnovers too. So he had 38 touchdowns, 24 turnover-worthy plays, highest number easily of his career. Way too many. We know that, but he was getting blamed for it. But he still made the playoffs. By the way, AJ Brown, another 1,400-yard season for him. Swift had 1,000 yards. But in the first round, they played the Bucs. They lost 32-9. Not a great game for them in that one. Not great at all. But we know what happened last year. He went out and won the ball. So all I'm saying is, I just think he's underappreciated for what he does. For what he's done and for what he's done for this franchise. Like, AJ Brown isn't on the team without Jalen Hurts. Sirianni is gone already, if not for Jalen Hurts. And I don't know if Saquon is here without Jalen Hurts. So that's it for this rotation. Jalen Hurts is the best. Your quarterback is second or lower, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being not the best. That's just not Jalen Hurts. Thank you guys so much for listening. Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Give me some more topics, some more thoughts. This came up a lot because of really a group chat me, Darnell, and Dami C have. So if you guys have any sports things you want to debate, want me to talk about, please let me know. Catch you later.